This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, what's going on?
Hey, John, it's going good. It's like, and well, I miss not having Rob and Myron around for this podcast. I've got something specific to me that I want to talk about.
They shall return, I'm sure of it. But what do you have on tap for us tonight?
Well, I've got on tap for like something that has been like near and dear to my heart for like a good long while now, and that is the Sandman. Now, it's like long time viewers will know that like I think like that Neil Gaiman's The Sandman is one of the greatest comic books ever. It's like comic book series ever written. It's like second only to Nausicaa, the Valley of Wind. But as DC owns like the concept of the Sandman, like they can just keep that thing going like as long as they want. But the thing is that you know like as Gaiman and I proved over like those 75 issues of the Sandman that he wrote, well, it's like the Sandman really it really has like power and sales power, when he's like running things. So it's like when he did like Endless Nights, and when he did the Sandman Overture, which I thought was the best thing I read. It's like back in the year when like Blade of the Immortal finished, and it's like I had to defer like Blade of the Immortal's best of the year ranking to Sandman Overture, because goddamn, like Gaiman proved that you can go home again. It's like, and also like add on specifically to the legacy that you've written previous to that point. It's like Sandman is like it's like one of like the holy grails of DC's output, but at the same time, like it's also one of the few series that DC has recognized that it is tied to a specific creator. I mean, they've basically gone and said, hey, fuck Alan Moore, we can just like get other people to like do Watchmen stuff. But when it comes to the Sandman, like they go, okay, we need to actually get Gaiman back in order to give a proper it's like approval for any Sandman like post Sandman stuff. It's like, I mean, for me at least, the one of the biggest and best things that he did was give that approval, was right at the introduction to Mike Carey's Lucifer series, because like I was like, oh man, they're doing a Lucifer series based on Gaiman's Sandman. Oh no, I'm not going off that. Wait, Gaiman did the introduction for it, huh? Maybe this is worthwhile. Hey, this is actually pretty good. Hey, it's like I should probably get around to doing a podcast about Lucifer, Mike Carey's Lucifer at some point. Maybe I'll do it next time. It's like, who knows? It's like, but the thing is, it's like when it comes to Sandman, it's really like you need like Gaiman's seal of approval in order to get people on board with it, because otherwise it's just kind of like it's like when it's like I guess when when Gaiman was doing the Sandman thing, it just like that was like the time when people started realizing that, hey, it's the creator that matters, not the title. It's like I guess it's like if DC had realized that, hey, it's like is it like Alan Moore was the key ingredient to Swamp Thing, and we should probably like listen to everything he says. It's like we should that would probably be good for our future, but they didn't, and it's like, oh man, it's like listen, like anything that DC does like with Watchmen nowadays, like I'm not going to touch. I mean, yeah, hey, it sounds cool that like Tom King and Jorge Fornes are doing like a Rorschach series, but fuck that, man. It's like, I'm not going to after DC's treatment of Moore with regards to Watchmen, it's like I'm not going to touch that at all, regardless of how good it is. But DC has apparently shown proper deference to Gaiman. It's like in terms of expanding the Sandman universe, in the sense that they seem to realize that, okay, it's Gaiman that we need his seal of approval before we go on to others Sandman stories here, and that's how we get the Sandman universe. Because flashback to the end of 2017 or 2018, I can't remember. I think it was 2018. It's like time is funny now, but but Vertigo is on the wane. It's like, well, like the imprint has managed to find ways to like reinvigorate itself like over the years with like hey, it's mentioned like throughout like a new It series, like say like Fables or like a White Last Man. Well, they haven't been able to do that for a good long while now, and well, like it's gotten to the point where like they've realized that hey, like, we need to like go back to like the series that defines us. We need the Sandman. We need like Gaiman to give his blessing to like a new round of Sandman inspired titles, and that's exactly what Gaiman did because it's like he is willing to deal with DC as long as they are willing to deal with him properly. So, so that is how we got the Dreaming. That is how we got House of Whispers. That's how we got another new Lucifer series, and also how we got a new Books of Magic series as well. Now, as far as I'm concerned, a new Lucifer series. Well, Mike Carey already delivered a Lucifer series that was far better than it had a right to be. So it's like any Lucifer series that followed that, it's like, I don't want to read that. It's like he gave us the definitive Lucifer series without Gaiman's input. So, I don't need a new Lucifer series. As far as like new Books of Magic series, well, it's like the snippets we got from the Sandman Universe one shot. Well, it's fine. I mean, like, it's like it was okay, but it's like I think that like any like Books of Magic series has suffered like from the fact that it wasn't Gaiman doing it. It's like I mean, like yeah, John Nay Reber did it back in the early days of Vertigo, but after that, after he did it, and then Peter Gross did it for 2 years afterwards. Like no one else has managed to like deal with a compelling take on the adventures of Tim Hunter, who's not Harry Potter. And then there's Nell Hopkinson, who gave us the new it's like House of Whisper series, which is a brand new concept, but the way it was presented in the Sandman Universe one shot was just kind of bland in the sense that we get some LGBT like characters who okay, this is cool and all, but it's like we're not like getting like a new interesting perspective, even with the Louisiana Bayou like Cajun flavor. So, but that being said, it's like when it comes down to it, like as far as these Sandman universe like series go, the one series that had my attention from the beginning was The Dreaming, and not just because it was like the series that was most like directly tied to Gaiman's work, but the fact that it came from writer Simon Spurrier. Now, Spurrier is a writer who if you've been reading the blog for and listening to the podcast for a while, he's a writer that I really like, but he's also a writer who like thrives on like, not giving you what you want. I mean, so because for a good long while, he was working with Marvel. It's like, and he's done work for them. He did an X-Force series that was predicated on showing you the fact that Cable's ultraviolet like guns first approach was not the right way to go. Which hey, it's like that's kind of a funny way to go for an X-Force series. Or like, what about his X-Men Legacy take, where he decided, hey, I'm going to make Legion the character, and I'm going to like make his ultimate realization the fact that hey, I was too cool for you characters to appreciate. So I'm going to like erase my existence, like as a climax of the series. So it's like, okay, that's interesting, but like that's like, how do you make that work as an ongoing superhero story? Because like, as much as I was impressed by the fact that like Spurrier had the balls to pursue his Legion story to the very end, well, like Marvel like eventually brought Legion back. It's like not just because of the success of the TV show, but just because like hey, it's like that's how we roll and all. But like with Spurrier coming over to DC to work in the Vertigo minds and all, it's like it kind of feels like hey, he's going to that he's kind of like playing with the toys that inspired him, way back in the day. Because Spurrier is probably closer to my age, the 40s and all. Sorry if I disappointed you and all, but he's also the kind of guy who realizes that, hey, like there is appeal in, like, bringing back the old stuff, but at the same time, like if there's even better appeal in like doing stuff that you don't expect, because while he's working on the Dreaming, like, yeah, and he's dealing with like all the old favorites, like, yeah, he's talking about the new like ruler of the Dreaming, Daniel, and also like all the people you remember, like Lucien, the librarian of the Dreaming, Murph Pumpkinhead, the salt of the earth, like it's like hard worker of like of the place, and Matthew the Raven. It's like, who is just like our kind of like our point of view character here. It's like it's like there's familiar, there's lots of familiar stuff going on here. It's like, but the way Spurrier interprets it, well, his plan for the Dreaming, and he does have a plan, is to it's like intersect it with current events. And oh god, like I understand, like you hear me say that and think like, oh god, it's like, I don't want politics. I don't want, like, it's like people talking about how it's like how the current state of America, it's like intersects with the Dreaming. I don't want that. And I get that. I really do. But it's like, but ultimately, I think that Spurrier like does this in a way that is, it's like, that is interesting and isn't, and even though parts of it are like kind of on the nose, it's like, I think that like it's still compelling, and it's still interesting and unexpected in certain ways, because while the series starts with Daniel, like the king of the Dreaming, like, or its lord, its main character, like just like just like abdicating his rule. It's like, well, it's like everyone's kind of going, well, what do we do with that? And it's like, how do we deal with like the fact that our leader has abandoned us? Well, we need someone like strong in order to like lead us. It's like in this like in our like time of unease, and like that's where Judge Gallows comes in. Judge Gallows, who is the it's like the embodiment of like authoritarian rule. It's like from the 1800s, like, so the guy who says like, hey, fetch me hemp, because like I'm gonna hang some guys in order to establish order again. It's like he is an autocrat who is like determined to impose his rule on the Dreaming once he's given the means to. But in the end, like, he is eventually deposed, and then comes Juan, the moth type leader, who may be insane, but nevertheless saved the Dreaming from Judge Gallows' authoritarian rule. And now he's trying to figure out what, like, how do I rule this this idiosyncratic realm, even though I am a being of logic. A being of logic so pure in the sense that like he's got his own ideas about how things go, but he's also got this shadow personality, a dark moth that will just unmake anything that that doesn't quite fit his rule. But even then, like, these characters aren't like the main characters of Spurrier's run. The main character really is Dora, like a girl with like wings for ears, who loves weird sex with demons, and has a crazy demonic like personality, where if you push her too far, she will just like bust out her evil teeth and just try to eat you, motherfucker. So there you go. So like she's angry. She is like frustrated about the fact that no one knows like who she was before she came to the Dreaming, though she does have this notion that Morpheus, the previous king of the Dreaming before Daniel took over, like may have had something to deal with her current state. So that's kind of where we are with Spurrier's like the Dreaming. He is telling a story about America, because, well, We're the country that's like that read the Sandman most voraciously when it came out. It's like, and he has an idea about just like like what is wrong with our current like state of mind. Like, why do we believe rumors? Why do we believe conjecture? Why do we believe stuff we read on the internet and religious stuff that flies in the face of facts? Well, Spurrier has an idea about that, and he has an idea about what we can do to cure it. Problem is that as he understands it, the fact that what the cure for this is ultimately worse than the disease, because it basically comes down to the fact that one person, one clever tech guy has found out what has ailed us like through all this time, and his name, the man who was responsible for all the things that have ailed this like this particular incarnation of mankind, well, it's none other than Hyperion Keter. Yeah, I know you heard me say that. It's like, who the fuck is Hyperion Keter? Well, that's kind of the point, and that's kind of like what drives Spurrier's it's like run. Like, I mean, he is not like all about like giving you like the obvious answers, the stuff that like gives you like, hey, though this makes perfect sense and all. It's like I think that there are some people who think that hey, like if we're like if someone was to tell us like, hey, there's someone who's behind the dissolution of the dreaming, who's behind like like ruining like our dream state and all, they would have like, hey, I bet it's Lex Luthor. It's like it's like someone who is like it's like who's a logical and reasonable. It's like villain. It's like, and someone who's tied to like the DC universe in order to like give the series like some like larger resonance as is. But no, Spurrier basically says fuck that. It's like, I'm going to like say that my villain is Hyperion Keter, who I don't know who the fuck that is, but he's the bad guy, or is he really? Or maybe he's got some issues, or maybe he's got the right idea, but then when he realizes that, oh, this is what it's going to turn out, oh shit, I gotta solve this, I gotta save everyone. Oh wait, I can't. So there you go. But the thing is with Spurrier's run on the Dreaming is that it's like compared to Gaiman's. I mean, the thing that made Gaiman's run on the Dreaming, like not Dreaming, Sandman, so great, so definitive, was that his storytelling was always a cut above everyone else's. I mean, even when like he wasn't like delivering like a piece of the ongoing story, because that's what it was, because that's what made the Sandman great. There was an ongoing story there, but it only became apparent once you looked back and realized, oh, that's it. It all makes sense now. But and that's what made Gaiman's run great, is that you didn't realize he was telling one connected story until you looked all the way back and realized, oh, it all makes sense. Spurrier, as much as I like him, isn't on that level, in the sense that his story he's telling, like he's banging it into proper form, like from the beginning. And rereading it from the beginning, that I realized that hey, he was like these 20 issues of the Dreaming he wrote, he was telling one story here. It's like, I mean, there wasn't like any like quote unquote proper digression here, like that you could tell with Gaiman's run. But reading like everything that Spurrier wrote for these 20 issues, it was all like focused towards like one proper story. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because even if Spurrier lacks Gaiman's grace and like effortlessness, he still has some good ideas about how to recontextualize the Sandman story, specifically just how he like he contextualizes like Daniel's the Sandman's like need for help, and how he how he tries falling in love and it fails, but it's still kind of it still kind of works as a proper love story. But even then, when he realizes that I've got to evacuate this reality in order to save everyone, well, like he it's like he also has plans for just like hey, if people want me to come back, well, I've given them the tools they need in order to do that. It's like where in the Sandman, like the very first story was all about Morpheus just being imprisoned for decades, and like and realizing that hey, it's like not only could I not save myself, but I couldn't empower the people who could save me to do so. So that so the dreaming is very much a response to that, and it's also very much a story about Dora, like this the character with the foul mouthed girl with the wing ears who was saved by Morpheus because someone told her she wasn't real, and well, it's like she's take like she it's all about her learning about how to recontextualize herself. It's like in the context of this of this new era, and it's pretty interesting. I mean, like I don't want to get into like specifics here because I think that it's like that overall like the story that Spurrier is telling here. It's like he has a plan. He has a plan. He follows it through, and it is fantastic. It's like that is something that like absolutely gets me. Like whenever I read a comic book, like I mean, it's like I just want to know that the person who's writing this has a plan, and Spurrier absolutely does this. Absolutely does when he's writing this. Now, I will say that chances are that he may have realized that I don't have enough space to tell the story that I originally did, because there are certain nods, like when he's talking about like the Wayne, like the disappearance of like supernatural characters from the modern world that was a thing in the Sandman, or when like we find out that Daniel has like created his own universe in order to live until people can wish him back. Oh, and that his girlfriend, well, she may be stuck there. Well, that there's feelings that there are still stories to be told here, but overall, the core story, like at the heart of this, it is complete. It's like, and I think it is. I think it is quite good. And also, there are also nods to Spurrier's run on Hellblazer, which struck me as being like, hey, it's like he is a guy. It's like, hey, hey, it's like he was offered the chance to like work on. Hey, do I want to work on like the dreaming, like the place where Gaiman like made his name? Like, fuck yeah, I do. Like, oh, and you're also offering me the chance to write on Hellblazer as well. Well, maybe I think I can like cut this short, or like bring this to a proper conclusion. It's like so I can work on Hellblazer. It's like, yeah, that's it. I can do that. So there you go. So I think that these 3 volumes of the Dreaming tell, like, even if you really looked at them, maybe there are some loose threads, some stray stories to be told, but overall, I think that this is as worthy a follow up to the Sandman as you could hope. Like just for the way that it offers like new takes on old characters, and it's like and like properly recontextualizes it's like the story of the character that we knew. It's like I mean, Spurrier is all about doing things differently, and he does this here. But he also tells us like it gives us a new like interesting like take on established characters on the Sandman. It's like, and I think that's really great. And I'm not just saying this as just like wanton hyperbole. I want to say that like so far, it's like as of like the time that I'm recording this, like like June 17th, this is like likely the best thing I've read so far this year. I mean, I love the Sandman, and reading like the Dreaming and rereading it and reading this final chapter. It's like volume 3. Like has basically made me realize like, yeah, this is fantastic stuff. It's like you're taking like stuff that I loved before and giving me new reasons to appreciate it as well. So yeah, it's like I would have loved to have seen like what else Spurrier would have done with this, but at the same time, G. Willow Wilson and Nick Robles are doing another Sandman series, giving us a new nightmare as well, and I want to see what they're going to do on this, because I think that the future for Sandman is all about writers giving their specific, distinct takes on it, and Spurrier proved that hey, this is something that is like viable commercially and creatively, and I'm grateful for that. But hey, when you talk to me that like hey that Wilson and Robles are doing their own thing, I want to see what that is like too. So hell yeah, I am all for this next run on like their run on the Dreaming, and I'm also thoroughly looking forward to what Spurrier does with Hellblazer, because God knows I've been looking forward to a proper mature reader's take on John Constantine ever since he departed the realms of mature readers, Vertigo and all. So there you go. So I guess John, it's like if you're still there, it's like any thoughts on your end about all this?
No, it sounds intriguing, and I think I might have to check this out myself.
Yeah, it's old, like The Dreaming by Simon Spurrier and Bill Key Everly. Oh, wait, I got to talk about Bill Key Everly. She delivered some incredibly astounding art for this. Like, even though she wasn't able to deliver like a book a month for this series, she delivered some incredible art over the course of this series, as did Abigail Larson, Danny and Marguerite Savage, and Matthias Bergara. It's like the Dreaming had thoroughly A-list art from beginning to end. It's like, and that is like fantastic. So I'd throw that in as well.
Incredible. All right, cool. So, do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Oh man, that's kind of a problem right now, because like I could be talking about I was thinking about talking about the other series for the Sandman universe, or I could be talking about the Apocrypha for the Metabarons, which I've been on a kick about that, the rereading the original series and the new series as well. But I don't know. It's like it could be either one of those, or it could be something completely different, because we'll also East of West is finished as well, and the final volume of that is out too. But we'll see about that. So I don't know. It's like what's next time on Comics by the Glick will be a surprise.
There you go. We'll catch you next time.
All right, laters.
Bye.